Hey everyone. In this video, I want to talk about how friendship may actually be more fulfilling than romantic relationships. There was a study done in Southern Methodist University that basically came to this conclusion. They said that people may actually be happier getting together with their friends than they are even spending time with their spouse or even their kids, which I know some people are going to say that sounds incredibly harsh because you romantically, ideally, we tend to believe that our partner should put us before everything in their life and put their family before everything in their life. But sometimes that may not be the best route to go for somebody's mental health and their happiness. And this study basically proved that because of the fact that so many of these people felt more fulfilled and happier being around their close friends than even their spouse or their kids. But that doesn't mean that they don't care about their spouse or their kids, so don't assume that, because that is a ridiculous conclusion to jump to here. You have to remember life is very nuanced. Things aren't black or white. There's a lot of gray, and this is one of those situations where we have to focus on the fact that life is gray. So I remember even in the most recent Instagram live session, a female follower asked me how she should feel because the guy she's dating was spending more time with his friends than her. And the old me would have told her that that's messed up, that's wrong, because, yet again, going back to that romantic ideal, he should put you before everything in his life. But the me of today and the me of even the past few years doesn't quite agree with that anymore, because there are just so many situations where our friends are incredibly close to us. For instance, what if they're friends that you grew up with, or friends that you've had for a few decades, or even if they're friends you've had for more than 5 years? What if you only just recently met your partner, so you've only known them for like 6 months or even a year? Why would they expect you to put them before those close friends? You've known those friends for way longer than them. That doesn't immediately mean that you should just discard them and put your partner before them, right? So that's the way I've come to think now. As long as your partner makes time for you and they aren't constantly choosing their friends over you, that doesn't seem like a bad thing to me. But obviously, if they're always choosing their friends over you, that probably is a bad sign, because they still should make time for you if they care about you. So let's jump back to how intriguing this study is, because in the past, people will always assume that you're going to be happier and feel more fulfilled from your partners and especially your kids. But for the purpose of this video, and since I don't have kids myself, I'm not really going to focus on the kid aspect of this, because I'm not in a place to really comment on that and the way I would feel in that situation, because I haven't experienced that yet. I don't have kids, so I can't speak to that part of this and say whether or not that's a good or bad thing. Although I can make some assumptions on why a lot of people who are married and have a family would want to spend more time with their friends and their kids. I mean, that kind of makes sense. Obviously, you're going to be able to connect a bit better with your friends than your children, because your children, you're going to have to discipline them, and if they're really young, they're not going to understand everything you say, and you're not going to be able to have those deep conversations with them until they're older, and that sort of thing. So if somebody has really young kids, yeah, they're probably going to have more of a fun time spending time with their friends who are of the same age or at least near. So that's the assumption I'll make there, but beyond that, I'm not going to speak on that. So getting back to how it may be more fulfilling to spend time with your friends than your partner. This, as I've already said, makes a lot of sense. So if you ever end up in that situation where you want to spend more time with your friends than your partner, even if it's just for a tiny period of time, maybe you're going through something, or maybe they're very close to you, so you want to include them in your life. Don't feel guilty for that. Don't let your partner guilt trip you, and if they actually do try to guilt trip you for hanging out with your friends, or if they try to distance you from your friends, or if they try to tell you that to choose them or your friends, choose your friends, because that person is not somebody you want to be dating. I already made a video talking about how narcissists will often use this as a manipulation tactic. They'll try to cut you off from your friends and family so that you're completely reliant upon them for your emotional support and all that. So if your partner is literally trying to cut you off from your friends, they are a horrible person for you, so cut them off. Choose your friends and yourself over them, because that is a horrible person that you do not want to spend any more time with, especially getting into a relationship with them or staying with them long term. But if your partner is just not super happy that you choose your friends often, well, you have to let them know that if you have had them in your life for a long period of time, it's okay for you to spend time with them. But you should still make time for your partner. So don't do that thing where you just spend all your time on your friends, because that is going to make your partner feel like you don't care about them. So you need to be aware of that. But at the same time, you shouldn't have to sacrifice all the time that you would spend with them. Sure, you'll have to sacrifice some of it, because now if you have a partner in your life, you're going to need to make time for them as well. But you shouldn't have to sacrifice all the time that you used to spend on your partners or your friends and immediately replace your friends with your partner. That just seems incredibly unnecessary, and it's something only immature or manipulative people would want you to do. So the people who want you to give up your friends for them aren't even worth dating at all. So you really shouldn't encounter any situations with healthy partners where they would ever want you to even sacrifice your friends for their sake. That's just not something they would do. For instance, in my case, if I was in a relationship with a woman right now and she wanted to spend a lot of time with her friends, especially if she'd known them for a while, I wouldn't care. As long as they're not going to clubs and doing stuff like that, I don't care. And I only bring that up because I just happen to know a lot about how clubs and a girl's vacation are basically like the highest odds of a how do I word this? When a woman goes on a girls' night out or like a girls' vacation with her friends, that's basically a situation where she has the highest odds of cheating on you, and I understand that. So I probably wouldn't want a girlfriend engaging in those activities, because I would just straight up say, hey, look, like, that's not an environment you want to be in. That would be like me going to a strip club. You probably wouldn't like that either. So just don't even go there. Don't engage in that behavior, and we'll be good. But where was I going with this? I lost my train of thought. Oh, so if I had a girlfriend and she wanted to hang out with her friends all the time, I wouldn't care. Like I said, as long as she's not doing those activities, I don't care. If she wants to catch up with them and go for hikes with them, grab coffee, do whatever, it doesn't matter to me. And it shouldn't matter to most people in healthy relationships. They're not going to become jealous that you have close friends, even if they're of the opposite sex and that sort of thing. I mean, well, you would hope that they haven't slept with their close friends if they're of the opposite sex, but I mean, these days, who the hell really knows with how interesting dating and friendships are, but you would hope. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this concept from this study because I found it very intriguing, and just thinking about how we're so often told that you should put your partner before everything in your life when you get into a relationship with them just doesn't sit right with me, especially the whole idea of sacrificing your friends for your partner. That's just stupid. So I wanted to touch on this and just say that I don't believe you ever would have to do that in a healthy relationship. So if your partner wants you to do that, or if they are basically hinting at that, then you should probably let them go. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, the easiest way you can support me is just to like, comment, share, or subscribe or follow, depending on whatever platform you are, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Arrivederci!